Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm gonna talk about what is stress, why is there stress, and how can we overcome stress. So first things first, let's talk about what is stress. So what stress is it's actually the effect or the manifestation of pressure. But pressure and stress are actually not the same thing. What pressure is something from the outside world, an external factor that affects us. What stress is an internal feeling. So because as humans, we love to feel comfortable, we hate when someone or something is pressuring us to go outside of our comfort zone. We don't want it. What the pressure is doing to us is it's forcing us to expand. It's forcing us to step outside our comfort zone. And what happens because of that stress is all these feelings begin to arise within you. All these thoughts start to enter your mind at once that you wouldn't normally even think if you weren't being so pressured. So now let's talk about why is there stress and pressure? Why do we have both of these things? We like to stay comfortable. We like to stay stagnant and just chill. How can stress be good if it's actually, in a way, hindering us from reaching our goals? Because when we're stressed out, it's like we're kind of blinded in a way to see the true situation, what's actually happening, because our mind starts to make up like all these crazy scenarios in our head that we can't actually see the truth of what's actually happening. Energetically, spiritually speaking, why is there a force of pressure? Why is there a component of stress in this world at all, in general? And to put it simply, without pressure, we would have absolutely no motivation to reach new goals, to take responsibility for our own lives, to do any work. And in all seriousness, we would probably just all run away from reality and run away from what we actually need to do in this life. So pressure is kind of like a push from the universe for us to achieve more. And not only that, but to show us that it's possible for us to expand. Because we always think that we can't expand and we can't do more because we don't want to, because we're lazy, because we like to be comfortable. But what pressure does is it shows us that if you actually are put in pressure to do something, that you can. So in some way or another, we all have different ways that pressure and stress is manifested into our lives that is individual to each of us. So knowing that everyone faces it, it's important to know that the specific things coming to you in your life that are causing you stress, that they're specific to you. And for that reason, we should not be blaming the outside situations for coming to us and creating pressure for us, because in reality, that's just the universe sending a message through whatever the message needs to come through, whether that's financial stress, relationship stress, school stress, work stress, bad news stress. All of those things are just messengers that the universe is speaking through to relay the message to us that we need to expand, that there are things that we need to do and we need to be pushed in the right direction, even though that's through stress and even though that's through challenging and difficult times. So instead of blaming the partner, instead of blaming the friend for causing you stress, understand that it's the universe's way of triggering you so that you can see what you need to work on and what you need to change. You have to think about everything in this world kind of working for you, because it's plain and simple. Our lives exist up here. So what we think is what we're gonna experience the world to be. If we're constantly thinking that someone else or something else is affecting us, then we're not in control of our lives. We need to understand that what's happening is that it's trying to tell me something, that the world is perfectly putting all these challenging, pressuring situations in my reality so that I can see what do I need to change, what do I need to shift, how do I need to expand, what is it trying to tell me. When we feel pressured by a situation, we always have to question, what is the lesson that I need to learn from this? And then you'll start to realize that once you first of all understand what the lesson is, you can work through it. And once you do, you're never gonna get that challenge or that pressure again, because now you know how to work through it, and now it's no longer a pressure because it's just a normal thing that you do. Think about it this way. Once we get a situation and we push through it and we finally come out of it on the other side, if we ever get that situation coming up again, we now know how to deal with it. It's now easy to us. It's no longer a pressuring situation. It's something that we know how to do it with ease. If it ever comes back, we know how to handle it. It's no longer a pressuring situation. So now we kind of see that it's actually within us to change. It's within us to expand. We have it all within us. This actually makes us more confident in the long run because you can literally see how you leveled up. How before you weren't able to handle that situation, but once you worked through that stressful, pressuring situation, that you actually can do it and that you actually don't have as many limits as your physical ego wants you to believe that it does. Now, the universe wants to give us everything that we could ever think to desire and more. So by allowing ourselves to work through a problem rather than trying to find ways to get around it, we're actually opening ourselves up to receiving more. For example, if we're doing everything we can to get around a certain situation, let's say your boss is asking something of you and you're doing every single thing you can to kind of get around it or say no, like that's just kind of a small example, but let's say you are capable of it, but you're just telling yourself that you're not. So what's happening when we're doing that is we're actually not facing the problem. You know, in the moment it seems like we got out of that situation and the problem is solved, but in reality, what's happening is that we're settling for less. Because if the universe wants to give us more, it's presenting us with opportunities and situations where we can expand ourselves, and once we expand ourselves, we can receive more. But if we keep going around the problem and around the stressful situations, then we're never getting rid of the problem. We will never be able to expand and ultimately receive more. If we really sit down with the opportunity and ask, why is this situation in my life? You will ultimately see that it's in your life because it's an opportunity for you to reveal a blessing. Now let's talk about how do we handle the stress? Go against the pressure and confront the root of the problem. Don't run away, run towards. So let yourself feel, but question why you're feeling this way. What is it about you that doesn't want to expand? You know, where are you stuck in a way? Let's say your boss asks you to do work and you really don't want to do it and you don't really have to. But if you start to think this is actually an opportunity from the universe for me to expand and get to my next level, then what you're going to say is, I can do it. Yes, I can do it. I am limitless. I have no limits. You know, maybe you're stressed out about it still. You know, I can understand that. Process the emotions like, I really don't want to do it, but why don't I want to do it? No question. Why don't I want to do it? Because I'm lazy? Because I don't want to? Because my limiting beliefs are telling me that I cannot do more than what I think I can do? Up to you. You can go down that road, or you can say, I can do this. And what happens is there's no energy ever wasted. So if you think like, oh, there's no point, there's always a point. By saying yes to the opportunity, this will force you to expand. So it may be uncomfortable, but you're opening yourself up to receiving 10 times more than you could imagine. Maybe 5-10 years down the line, you will need that expanded capacity that you now have, which you didn't have before, to go on a new venture that you've always wanted to do. Maybe you're starting up a business and you didn't know how much work actually goes into starting a business. So you realize that you had to go through that stressful situation that uncomfortably expanded you, because before you didn't have that kind of work ethic, but you were pushed into learning how to work hard. So now when it comes to running your own business or starting up your own business, you now have those tools, because at one point you were pressured to have those tools, but now it just comes naturally to you. Now that's your capacity. But understand that your capacity can always expand. It can always grow. And the best way for ourselves to expand in what we think we can do is by being pressured to do more. And honestly, anything is better than nothing. So even if you can't do everything that you're asked of course, that's understandable. You know, you kind of have to prioritize sometimes what you can do more of, how you want to prioritize your time. But ultimately, it comes down to you. How much do you think you're capable of? And just go a little bit extra than you think you can do. Because sometimes a little bit of added pressure expands you in a positive way so that in the future, you can actually receive more, achieve more, be happier, and you're no longer gonna be stressed out by those same things. You've leveled up. So that's all for me in this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you guys got any value out of it whatsoever, please leave this video a like, share it with your friends, with your family, on Facebook, on Instagram, whatever you want. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.